Okay, so this video is nothing like my normal videos. This is just more like a mental checkup and showing everyone that matters or cares where my mental headspace has been for the past month or two. So, let's start with the biggest thing that's probably been eating away at me a bit. And some of you already know this. This is old news. But I quit my full time job a month ago. And basically, what was happening is that I would be like working on stuff for Leviathan, for my clients, for getting bigger. And then I would be letting those other responsibilities go to the wayside at my Fortune 250 employer. Um, and it got to the point where I'd be working till like 2, 3 o'clock, and I haven't even locked in yet for my uh, full time job that's actually paying the bills. So that was unsustainable, and my morals would not let me keep up with that. So I left my job, and I would say it wasn't the best timing, but with the amount of like background stress that was, like I need to get all this stuff done to even just start with that stuff, which I didn't even want to do to begin with, was eating away at me. And then there's the disappointment of leaving that team down because I'm failing my responsibilities for them. So it just made sense for me to leave at that point. And so that happened in March, end of March. Um, I spent the next 2 weeks trying to get caught up on the income I lost. It was a pretty penny. If I'm a software developer at a Fortune 250 company, just think about it. Um, but that being said, it's not like my other business ventures weren't close to matching what I was already making. So it wasn't a huge deal. But when I I was already like burnt out at that point. So like I then had to bite off more than I could chew to like sustain myself, and that was probably a mistake in hindsight. So I feel like my quality of work, both for my clients and for people that purchased our products, saw a lack in service, and that drove me like bonkers, knowing that I've let people down that expected like the bare minimum out of me, efficient order times, and just me getting back to them in a timely manner. Um, so first of all, to my clients, I am sorry, and I'm sorry I'm still behind. I promise I will be caught up soon. Uh, and then people that ordered, I know in a 2 week wait time for fucking lotion is ridiculous. But let me continue with my little expose. Um, as I think some of you guys already know my like mindset and how it was like warped as a child, but I developed like clinical anxiety at 9 because my parents expected a lot out of me. And not only that, I was just kind of wired to be like, hyper competitive. And then they added those expectations on top of that, and then that was it. I was a neurotic mess until I was probably like 11 or 12. It was 2 or 3 years of therapy weekly. Uh, yeah. So that was the first thing. Is like, so like, I remember one time I came home with like a C or B on a social studies test, and my parents got pissed that I got a C or B on my history test because my dad has a master's in sociology and history. So his son would not have an A or B. Now, I'm making them sound like they're horrible parents. They're not. It's just they wanted the best of me, but like the best for me, and that requires them to be hard on me to be the best that I can be. But like when you're already driven to be great, you don't need the negative feedback, when you make a mistake. And then when I got to high school, I had a high school coach that did not really like me a lot for basketball. So for me to get playing time, I had to go above and beyond and hope that a parent did not complain because, high school politics, that their upperclassman son was not getting playing time over me to see the court. And, like, I seem to be more relaxed and fun now. But back then, I was like, I would say I was shy and awkward. So it was hard for me to open up to people. And, you know how it goes, right? If you're not a schmoozer, sometimes you're not going to get anything, especially in fucking high school. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but basically, since I had to work so hard always, any goal I had wasn't a goal to be happy about when I completed. It was expected of me. So, like, I put this idea that I was going to own a house by the time I was 23. And, well, I did, but I live on what side of Pittsburgh is it? The west side of Pittsburgh. So it's not like house prices are crazy, but still it's an accomplishment nonetheless. But like to me, it was expected of me, and I should not be happy that I did the bare minimum. And then that's something that's basically been my issue since 9 years old. So all my accomplishments never really brought me fulfillment until this, and that's because I can actually see the amount of people I'm helping instead of it just being about proving my worth. Anyway, but since I had like these high expectations and stuff, I developed what I'm calling cyclical burnout, which I'm assuming is a thing, like psychiatrically speaking. But essentially, since I was 9 years old, I would work double time for 1 to 3 months, burning myself out, and then let's say family stress happens or a couple projects or goals fall short, and I would fall into like a pseudo depression where I can't even get myself to do the bare minimum of other things. So, like something as simple as making lotion, for example, I could not get myself to do, even though it takes me like 15 minutes of actual work and the rest is just letting the blender go. Okay. And like, I beat myself up over it too, but like, the idea of just like doing those little things that are just like minor inconveniences when you're burnt out or depressed, it's just like pulling teeth. Okay. And again, I'm sorry, and I'm especially sorry to like some of my business partners, especially Hank, because like I know he works his ass off too, and that's why I don't like bitching about like, oh, I couldn't make lotion today. Because his life, he's actually like saving lives, and like he works probably way more than me, but like I think for me it's not so much the amount of work I do, but all the things that I have going on that are really the kicker. So anyway, so my stress was basically always at a very high level. So high to very high. And then I quit my job. Let's say that doubled my stress. So I was like, I can't even fathom how stressed I was in reality, because like there was a point where I just became numb and I was just rushing around trying to get caught up or trying to get the money back that I lost. And then that was for 2 weeks. So from beginning of April to mid-April, I was in this state. Then we finally went on vacation, me and my wife. And this is probably the part I regret more than anything else. I'm making it sound more dramatic than it actually is. So we got to Maui. Alright, this is one of my favorite places on earth. Okay. I could not turn off like work BD. So I almost said my first name. That could have been bad. Doesn't matter. You'll eventually find out. Anyway, so I couldn't turn off work mode, and because of that, I was distant to my wife in paradise on earth. So it took me like 3 or 4 days to like finally calm down, and like connect, but like I was still had a bit of a short temper, and it's not like I got mad at her, but I was just complaining all the time. So like I was complaining about traffic, you know, or complaining about stupid tourists, even though I'm a stupid tourist, and basically something that used to be kind of sacred to me, I ruined because I couldn't shut off and I couldn't turn this stress down. So that's something I regret most, is that I just wasted a week with my wife that I'm not going to get for another year. Just me and her. Anyway, so I get back from vacation. I'm still behind because, I literally could not work. We start this, the Getting Bigger shop, whatever you want to call it. It's not that big of a deal. But there's always something new, right? So I'm still pretty stressed out, and like I still have the background stress from quitting my old job, and like so I never really had a chance to process it until I got back, I guess. But what the real kicker was is like I had a short fuse, or I had points where I'd literally just like, what's the point? Sit on the couch and stare at the floor for an hour while my brain reset. Okay. And like, I know it's not sustainable. That's why I'm trying to figure out the best path forward. But it got to the point where me and my wife had some difficult conversations. And she's like, when you're in this state, it's not you. I don't recognize you. And like, that's when I was like, something really has to change, because like I'm changing as a human, as a man, whatever, because I don't have the proper systems in place. And there's a lot more going on. Like, I'm not happy with the state of the world. And then, it's just like the petty ass drama that's been starting recently. It's just like stupid. Like, so this is a complete tangent. There's a bit of a troll issue on our Discord server. And since I have a bit of a short fuse right now, I've been kind of feeding them more than I should have been. Which has now led to a bit too much drama than I would like. And I'm not going to say much on camera about it. But like, to me, who's like busy 24/7, or has always something in the background to do, when like these, I'm just going to call them idiots, walk around trying to start stuff in a very niche community for no good reason, I don't know why they exist, right? Because like, I am here to help people. At least that's what I tell myself. What are they here to do? Just stir the pot? Like, how are you happy with your pathetic existence at that point, right? Literally going into a Discord server, starting shit. Like, can you not afford cable? Can you not watch Real Housewives of Atlanta? Like, it's fucking pathetic, and it just confuses the shit out of me. This is what someone wants to do this with the rest of their life. They want to just stir the pot, leave, come back in the next day in another account, stir the pot again. So, anyway, because of my short temper at the time, I've made a few enemies out of other influencers. Not that it fucking matters to me. Like, but like, it's stuff I don't need right now, I have way more important things to worry about than drama started by some lowlife who still lives with their mom. Then, like, I just can't be worrying about that stuff. But since I'm like already I have such a short temper, it gets the best of me, and that's something I need to work on. Anyway, I guess what I'm really trying to say is that the burden of your own expectations is really what's going to cause you to fail. Because if I'm being completely honest, I was set up for a super easy life with a upper middle class pay at 22. I did not have to do anything for the rest of my life, and I would have been pretty satisfied with how it turned out. However, since I had such great expectations of myself, I could not leave well enough alone. Granted, that put me in the position to help all of you people, but that burden starts to weigh on you if you don't have the proper mindset. And I know I've been on this mindset train for like almost a year now, but after like researching more and more and stuff about mindset, philosophy, etc., I've learned how fucked up mine was. And then that's another thing that's been driving me insane a bit, is that I see people saying that this is how they are and this is how they're going to get ahead. Like, dude, I was there. You can still be pushing yourself for self-improvement and all that without hating yourself in the process. Like, I don't think I hate myself anymore, but I am afraid that I am going to mess up. So, anyway, I think that's really all I wanted to say. And I think this is probably about 10 minutes long at this point. I'm okay. I'm just very tired. All right. And I don't mean to blow anyone off, by the way, unless like it's really stupid. But like lately, it's just hard for me to get myself to do things that require a bit more effort than this fun stuff. And trust me, I've been pushing myself to get this stuff done, but like I just need time, and eventually I just need a break. So I need, well, one, I already hired an assistant. We're still working out the details how he's going to assist me, but we're getting there. And hopefully in the next 6 weeks or so, I'll look happier and less tired and ragged. Hair's staying though, so. Yeah. Thanks guys for dealing with Moody BD for the next, I don't know, month, and we'll go from there. Talk to you later.